Hello everyone, DeckTrolls here. Today I have for you my Crusadia deck profile. I've had it built for a while, and I don't know, I just never came around to actually posting it. So here we go. Got 3 Crusadia Maximus. You can special summon this card from your hand in defense position to your zone a link monster points to. You can only special summon Crusadia Maximus once per turn this way. You can target one Crusadia Link monster you control this turn. If it battles an opponent's monster, any battle damage it inflicts to your opponent is doubled. Also, other monsters you control cannot attack. You can only use this effect of Crusadia Maximus once per turn. We got 3 Crusadia Draco. You can special summon this card from your hand in defense position to a zone your zone a link monster points to. You can only special summon this Crusadia Draco once per turn this way. If this card is normal summoned or special summoned to a link zone a link monster points to, you can target one Crusadia monster in your graveyard except Crusadia Draco. Add it to your hand. You can only use this effect of Crusadia Draco once per turn. We got 3 Crusadia Leonis. You can special summon this card from your hand in defense position to your zone a link monster points to. You can only special summon Crusadia Leonis once per turn this way. You can target one Crusadia Link monster you control. If it attacks a defense position monster this turn, inflict piercing damage, battle damage to your opponent. You can only use this effect of Crusadia Leonis once per turn. Got 3 Crusadia Reclusia. You can special summon this card from your hand in defense position to a zone a link monster points to. You can only special summon Crusadia Reclusia once per turn this way. If this card is normal or special summoned to a zone a link monster points to, you can target one Crusadia card you control and one card in your opponent controls, destroy them. You can only use this effect of Crusadia Reclusia once per turn. Got 2 Crusadia Arborea. You can special summon this card from your hand in defense position to a zone a link monster points to. You can only special summon Crusadia Arborea once per turn this way. If a Crusadia monster or monsters you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your field or graveyard instead. You can only use this effect of Crusadia Arborea once per turn. We got 3 World Legacy World Crown. You can special summon this card from your hand in defense position to a zone a link monster points to. You can only special summon a World Legacy World Crown once per turn this way. When a monster on the field was special summoned to from the extra deck, that was special summoned from the extra deck, activates its effect, quick effect. You contribute this card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. If this card is normal summoned or set, if this card is normal summoned or set, if this normal summoned set card is tributed, you can add one World Legacy spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of World Legacy World Crown once per turn. Sorry about that. You got 2 World Legacy World Lance. Monsters your opponent control cannot attack World Legacy monsters you control except this one. You can only use each of the following effects of World Legacy World Lance once per turn. During the damage calculation, if a link monster battles a monster, quick effect, you can discard this card that the opponent's battling monster loses 3,000 attack. If a monster or monsters is special summoned from the extra deck, special summon 1 World Legacy token, Machine, Dark, level 1, 0 attack, 0 defense from to both players' fields in defense position. Got 2 Watt Kinetic Puppeteer. Quick effect, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, then target 1 monster in your opponent's control. Move that target to another of their monster zones. You got 1 Neospatian Grand Mole. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster, you can return the opponent's monster and this card to the hand. Now for the spells, we got 2 Crusadia Revival. All Crusadia Link monsters on the field gain 500 attack once per turn. You can target 1 Crusadia Link monster you control. This turn, even if this card is removed from the field, it can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. Also, other monsters you control cannot attack. 1 Terraforming. Add 1 field spell from your deck to your hand. Got 3 Crusadia Power. Target 1 Crusadia monster you control. That Crusadia monster is unaffected by the effects this turn, except its own. You can only activate 1 Crusadia Power per turn. 1 Royal Legacy Survivor. Excavate the top 5 cards of your deck, and if you do, add 1 excavated crawler monster or World Legacy card to your hand. Also, send the remaining cards to the graveyard. Otherwise, shuffle all excavated cards into the deck. For the rest of the turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck, except Link monsters. You can only activate 1 World Legacy Survivor per turn. 1 Reinforcement of the Army. Add 1 level 4 lower warrior type monster from your deck to your hand. 2 Mage Power. The equipped monster gains 500 attack and defense for each spell or trap card you control. 1 United We Stand. The equipped monster gains 800 attack and defense for each face-up monster you control. 1 Shooting Star Bow Seal. The equipped monster, or the monster equipped with this card, decreases its attack by 1,000. A monster equipped with this card can attack your opponent's life points directly. 2 Forbidden Lance. Target 1 face-up monster on the field. Until the end of this turn, that target loses 800 attack, but is unaffected by the effects of other spell or trap cards. 1 Book of Moon. Target 1 face-up monster on the field. Change that target to face-down defense position. And 1 Dark Hole. Destroy all monsters on the field. Now for the traps, we only have 2 Crusadia Vanguard. When you activate this card, you can also tribute 1 Crusadia or World Legacy monster, and if you did, special summon 1 Crusadia or World Legacy monster with a different original name from the deck or graveyard. While you control a Crusadia Link monster, your opponent's monsters can only target Link monsters for attacks. You can only activate 1 Crusadia Vanguard per turn. Now for the extra deck, we got 2 Crusadia Magius. Requires 1 Crusadia except Crusadia Magius. Gains 800 attack equal to the original attack of the monster this card points to. The monster this card points to cannot attack. If an effect monster is special summoned to a zone this card points to, except during the damage step, you can add 1 Crusadia monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Crusadia Magius once per turn. Got 3 Crusadia Regulix. Requires 2 effect monsters including a Crusadia monster. Gains attack equal to the combined original attack of all monsters this card points to. Monsters this card points to cannot attack. If an effect monster is special summoned to a zone this card points to, except during the damage step, you can add one Crusadia spell trap card from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Crusadia Regulix once per turn. You got 3. Crusadia Equinox. Requires 2 or more effect monsters, including a link monster. Gains attack equal to the combined original attack of all monsters this card points to. Monsters this card points to cannot attack. Once per turn, quick effect, you contribute 1 Crusadia or World Legacy monster this card points to, then target 1 face-up card your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of this turn. You got 1 Decode Talker. Requires 2 or more effect monsters, or 3. Gains 500 attack for each monster it points to. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a card you control, quick effect, you contribute 1 monster this card points to, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. 1 Trigate Wizard. 2 or more monsters, except tokens. This card gains effects based on the number of monsters co-linked to this card. 1 or more. If a monster co-linked to this card battles your opponent's monster, any battle damage inflicted to your opponent is doubled. 2 or more. Once per turn, you can target 1 card on the field, banish it. 3. Once per turn, when a card or effect is activated, quick effect, you can negate the activation, and if you do, banish that card. Got 1 Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. Requires 2 level 4 monsters. You can detach 2 materials from this card, then target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Its attack becomes halved its current attack, and if it does, this card gains that lost attack. And lastly, 1 Clearwing Synchro Dragon. Requires 1 tuner and 1 or more non-tuner monsters. Once per turn, when another level 5 or higher monster activates its effect on the field, quick effect, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. Once per turn, when a monster effect is activated that targets a level 5 or higher monster on the field, and no other cards, quick effect, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. If this card's effect destroys a monster, this card gains attack equal to the destroyed monster's original attack until the end of this turn. Alright guys, that is my Crusadia deck profile. So, tell me what you think. What did you like? What did you dislike? What would you do to improve it? Remember, I have 100 plus budget-friendly decks. There's going to be a lot of fun content coming your way. So please make sure to like and subscribe. Most importantly, have fun!